Hey Patrick, you've been seeing a lot of the Bills lately, and it seems like that's probably going to continue. Just wanted to get your thoughts on Josh Allen, what you like about him as a player, and what's it like competing against him?
Yeah, I mean he's a tremendous player. I actually know him a little bit off the field as well. Great dude. They put a lot on his shoulders, and he rises to the occasion. I mean, he's able to run the ball. He can throw the ball. He has the arm strength to throw it anywhere on the football field, and he makes great decisions. So, like you said, we'll probably play them a lot of times. Be great competition, and it's definitely a great challenge for us as a team to compete with them.
Let's go next to Herbie Tiopi. Go to Herbie.
Hey, Patrick. Tyreek Hill has sort of had to reinvent himself this season, no longer just known as a deep threat. But from your opinion as his quarterback, how impressed have you been with the way that he's been able to adjust to how the defenses have been playing y'all?
Yeah, no, I mean it's been incredible. I mean the way he's able to run routes between coverages. I mean, pretty much every coverage he has two people on him or two people kind of shadowing over the top of him, and he's still getting himself open, making tough catches over the middle of the field. And really evolved his game. And then at the end of the day, whenever he gets in those man coverage situations like he did this last weekend, you can always hit him over the top for touchdowns.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go to Pete.
Patrick, we know Jarek had a good game last game. You guys really got him going. Whether it's Jarek or one of these other backs, what is getting the short game and the backs do for you when it comes to taking maybe those deep shots to Tyreek?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to get that involved, especially early. I mean, when teams are playing these deep coverages and they're kind of really focusing on Tyreek and Travis and all these other receivers that we have, getting the ball to the running backs in space and then making one guy miss usually ends up being big gains. And so Jarek did a great job of that this week. And then running the ball as well. And then once we do that, you see that the stuff over the top opens up. So you got to be patient with that. And then whenever you get a chance to hit over the top, you make sure you execute that one.
Next to Todd Palmer. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Patrick, I wanted to ask you about Travis Kelce. He's a guy who earlier in his career was prone to getting personal fouls, different things like that. What have you seen in terms of his personal growth and maturity, not only as a football player in your relationship there, but also just as a man off the field?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great person for this community. I mean, the way he gives back to this community is awesome. And it sets an example for everybody on the team. And I mean, obviously, he had some personal fouls early in his career. He's learned from those, didn't make the same mistake twice. Still a competitor, still goes out there and plays with passion. But I mean, he's definitely grown up as he's kind of went through his entire career. And I mean, he's the old guy on the team now, so he can't be making those personal fouls anymore.
Let's go next to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Patrick, do you have people have kind of described your mindset in games as, listen, like a blank you mindset, that there's a stage that you get to where you go to another competitive level. And I've just had people, recently around town, that's been like a conversation that like you kind of maybe got there, like the Pittsburgh game didn't start the way you wanted. When that clicked in, 11 minutes later, you've thrown 5 touchdowns. Is that accurate? Is there a level within you, or is that just the perception fans have when it gets rolling like it did?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just really like winning. That's pretty much the end of it.
Let's go next to James Palmer. Go ahead, James.
Patrick, I'm curious about you running the football this season compared to years past. 5.8 yards a carry. It seems like, and I could be wrong on this, but like your decision making in when to go and picking your spots have been better in years past. Do you feel like that's an improvement this year for you compared to seasons past?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, I think you've seen it from me in the playoffs before. It's when teams really focus in on Tyreek and Travis, and they have 2 people on both of them, and then other guys are getting covered in kind of man-type coverage situations. It kind of opens up lanes for me to run. I've been telling Tyreek that I'm getting faster every year too. So I mean, I got a little bit of speed there, and so when it's presented the opportunity, I think I'd try to get up, get first downs, and get out of bounds.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick, as you guys study the Bills and you specifically look at film, can you kind of break down, maybe even if it's percentage-wise, how much you're focusing on that first matchup versus how they're playing recently defensively?
I think you got to do everything, especially this time of the year. I mean, they're going to have change-ups, obviously, that they didn't do in the first matchup. They have good defensive coordinator. They have a good defensive head coach. They have good players over there, so they're not going to sit back and do the same stuff they've done against us before. But they're going to take what they did well and do that, and then add change-ups in there. And so I'll watch all the previous games that we've played against them in these last year and a half, pretty much. And then I've watched all the games that they've played since then. And I try to formulate a game plan for myself of what I expect them to do, knowing that they'll have adjustments, and I'll have to make adjustments on the fly during the game.
We'll go last to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Patrick, I asked Andy about their safeties, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer. They seem to do the best about having that 2 deep safety shell. I just wonder what it was like to face them earlier this year, and just how much of a challenge will you try to provide or maybe sort of use from that game to sort of counteract their ability to sort of work in tandem together?
Yeah, no, I mean, they're very smart, very athletic, and really have an understanding for what they want to do as a defense. I mean, they're 2 Pro Bowl caliber players. I mean, it's hard to get 2 safeties like that on the same team. And they play well off of each other. They know how to kind of rock the 2 high shells to go to 1 high. They both can play up top or down low. And so it's a tremendous challenge to try to get a read for what they're doing. I mean, they have 2 great players in the back end that can really do a great job of disrupting what you want to do as an offense. So you have to try to account for both of them on every single play.